Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. I'm back after a couple of weeks, so let's catch up. On the 23rd of June, Novocaine came out on home video. The film is an action comedy film starring Jack Quaid as a bank employee with a genetic disorder that prevents him from feeling pain when his co-worker and love interest is taken hostage by a group of bank robbers. So he chases them down in a John Wick style quest of revenge. The film also stars Amber Midthunder and Jacob Batalon. The film was released in March to success with critics. They liked it, and a bare amount of box office success. It might have made, I think it only just barely made money. So I didn't see the film until this week because I was on holiday when my copy arrived. So I watched it for the first time and I thought, it's not perfect. There's at least 10 minutes that could be shaved off. The film is 10 minutes too long. But the film is saved by the fact that Jack Quaid is an insanely likeable screen presence in literally everything he does, like Star Trek Lower Decks, The Boys, the film Rampage he did with Dwayne Johnson. I gave the film 3.5 stars out of 5. Novocaine is on home video now. On Monday, a Minecraft movie came out on home video. The film is an adaptation of the 2011 video game and stars Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Danielle Brooks, Emma Myers, and Sebastian Hansen. The film revolves around 4 misfits who get pulled into a cubic world, and they must go on a quest to get back to the real world with the help of the expert crafter Steve. So the film's released in April to mixed reviews from critics, but it was a runaway box office success. I was never looking forward to the film because the trailers made it look like a $200 million April Fool's joke, and I think that Minecraft is unadaptable. But the film is honestly even worse than I was expecting. The script is audible diarrhea, the cast of buffoons, and the visuals failed to excite any Minecraft fan. The film doesn't even fit into the so bad it's good category. Instead, it's straight up trash. Like a constant April Fool's joke we're forced to live with the consequences of. I gave the film 1 star out of 5, and I think everyone involved in the film should be ashamed of themselves. This week, Jurassic World Rebirth has been released in cinemas. The film is the 7th installment in the Jurassic Park franchise and takes place 5 years after the events of 2022's Jurassic World Dominion, which I reviewed on White Regis TV. It was one of the first films I reviewed for White Regis TV. So Rebirth stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey. The film revolves around Earth becoming inhospitable to the dinosaurs that are roaming the Earth since the events of Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. So a pharmaceutical company sends a team led by Scarlett Johansson's character to a secret InGen Island facility to retrieve samples, but on this new island there's a bunch of mutated dinosaurs. So the film so far has only about 50% positive reviews from critics, who criticise the fact that it doesn't add anything new to the franchise, but they praise it for leaning on the franchise's history. So, honestly, critics don't get big budget blockbusters that are made for an audience, so I'd take that with a grain of salt. Jurassic World Rebirth is in cinemas now. This week, The Old Guard 2 arrived on Netflix. The film is a sequel to 2020's The Old Guard and stars Charlize Theron, Kiki Lane, and Chiwetel Ejiofor among the actors who were reprising their roles from the first film. Pretty much most of the main actors from the first film reprised their roles, and Henry Golding and Uma Thurman are joining the cast. The film revolves around the mercenary squad of immortals going up against the oldest immortal, even though Charlize Theron's character Andy has lost her immortality. So a notable thing about this film is that it was filmed in 2022, but when they started pre-production, regime changes at Netflix put it on a shelf for 2 years, so it was nearly never released. So I thought this film, the sequels, tried to unsuccessfully add mythos to the first film, and it doesn't even add anything to the first film, honestly, or doesn't even do more of the same. It's just throwing a bunch of mythology at you and expecting you to go, yeah. So I gave the film 2.5 stars out of 5. The Old Guard 2 is streaming now on Netflix. This week, the action comedy film Heads of State arrived on Amazon Prime Video. It's a Amazon Prime Video exclusive. The film stars John Cena, Idris Elba, and Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and revolves around the US President and the UK Prime Minister, who they don't get along. They're very different people. When they get caught up in a terrorist conspiracy. The film received mixed reviews from critics, but the trend is towards positive, with critics saying the film is just stupid fun. It is kind of pretty much just stupid fun. So I watched the film. I really liked how great of a duo Cena and Elba are. That's part of what elevates it to stupid fun. But I felt that the film just asks you too much to suspend your common sense in order to make the story work. There's a scene where Cena and Elba are, they're trying to they're in the middle of Belarus trying to save themselves, and they encounter like a bunch of thugs who have no idea who they are. It's like, John Cena plays the President of the United States, literally like one of the most famous positions in the world. And you don't even in Belarus, which is an unfriendly country, you don't recognize this person. It's like, okay, how does that work? I gave the film 3 stars out of 5. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I'll be talking about James Gunn's Superman. I'm not sure if there's much else coming out next week. I might just pull a few reviews out of a hat and talk about them, but it's because I think it's just pretty much Superman at the moment for next week. But anyway, see you next time.